Now here, take a nice wide stance with the feet, and we're going to come out into a dolphin posture. So basically, you're just going to bend into the elbows, and that's your dolphin posture, okay? Now from here, if you want to try your headstand, then you're going to interlace the fingers, you're going to round the head, place it into your hand, so we're doing supported headstand. Now walk the feet in towards the face, nice and gently. Now you can either come up from a pike position or you can go for a tuck. I prefer tuck on the supported headstand. And if you're against a wall, then lean up against a wall. And just balance there for a couple of breaths in your tuck position. Make sure you're nice and well balanced. And if you want to extend the legs, go for it. I'm going to stay here. Stay up there for as long as you want to. When you come down, you're going to separate the feet to a nice wide position. My block wasn't in the way. I'm going to come up here. Now walk the feet in a little bit, so they're not quite so wide. I'm going to change direction and come here. So you come out of your headstand and you're here. Now, you're going to interlace the fingers behind the back, lock out the elbows, and we're going to bend all the way forward. Now relax that head all the way down. Just allow gravity to take effect on the hands. You should feel a lovely stretch all down the shoulders, a bit of a pinch in the shoulder blades. And just really breathe here, guys. Try to think about breathing into the chest, opening the chest, breathing into the belly, and exhale, sinking a little bit further down. And slowly rolling back up, bending the knees. And all the way back up to standing. Take a lovely inhale, turn out the legs. Lifting the hands all the way to the ceiling, and then we're going to bend into our goddess posture. So nice wide bend. And here we're going to pulse for 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold it there. Coming up onto the balls of the feet. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Coming all the way back up to standing. Exhale, release the hands. Now, if you want to go for your headstand again, you could potentially try the tripod headstand from this position. So we're going to bring the feet in so they're parallel. Take a nice inhale, lifting the hands to the side. Now we're going to swan dive all the way down, okay? Now you want to run the hands down the backs of the legs. And if you can, grab the feet around the side, and you want to anchor yourself down by pulling underneath the feet. Now allow the elbows to just gently bend out to the side. Now don't look entirely behind you. You want to almost like look towards the floor in front of you, but feel like you're growing and lengthening through the spine. So if that's a little bit too hard for you today, then you can always just place your hands onto the floor in front of you. Alternatively, you can grab your block and you can lean onto your block to give yourself a little bit of extra lift as well, okay? So there's 3 options there to make it a little bit easier for you if you can't quite get down on the ground or grab the sides of the feet. So for those of you that are happy here, with every inhale, try to breathe into the back of the ribs, filling the lungs. And exhale, you pull a little bit further down towards the ground, okay? Inhale, you lift. Exhale, you pull. 2 more breaths. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, you pull. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pull. Now, if you want to go for your tripod headstand, and we're going to do that now. So tripod is a little bit different to supported headstand because tripod is basically, it's called tri because you're placing the weight between 3 areas. So the top of the head and then the 2 hands. So if you're going to go for a tripod, you place the hands out in front of you. You're going to come down towards the ground, place your head, if you want to use your pillow, by the way, use your pillow. I'm fine, so I've got this nice squidgy carpet. So I'm going to just place my head straight on the ground here, like so. Now from there, you can either come up with your legs out to the side, or you can bring them back in together. And you want to feel a nice even weight distribution between your hands and your head. Okay, so when you feel like you're comfortable, again, do this up against the wall if you're beginning. You can come up from a plank position, or again, you can come up from a tuck, whichever is comfortable for you. Again, I'm going to stay here, because I don't want to go too crazy on the headstands today. I'm happy in this little balanced posture, but you guys do whatever you want. If you want to cross the legs to here, if you want to bring the soles of the feet together and relax there, maybe you want to open it up to a middle split, or if you want to go straight up and hold it here, you can do that. But I am going to stay nice and close to the ground today. Okay, so again guys, you just hold this for however long you want. And then when you're ready, you come down whenever you're ready. I'm going to come down now, but you take your time. If you are learning, I prefer the tripod headstand personally, because I like to feel that there's a balance between my hands and my head, and I feel almost like if my body weight is shifting, that my hands are easier, it's easier for me to catch myself with my hands than it is for me for my elbows. But I think that's just because I've always learned to do a headstand like that since I was young, as a child as well. So I'm more comfortable doing a tripod headstand. But obviously, maybe some people are better at the supported. But always learn against the wall, because the wall is there to support you. You know, you grab your pillow, you place it up against there, get yourself nice and comfy. And then you know that the wall is behind you, so it's there to catch you. Okay, so you're not going to fall, because the wall's there. And then you can place your feet up against the wall or whatever you want. But always practice against the wall if you're beginning, okay? So there is a little bit of extra guidance. Okay, so I'm assuming all of you have come down now from your headstand. So we're going to go onto the floor. We're going to do a last couple of floor postures, and then we're going to go into our lovely Savasana, okay? So how are we doing for time? Okay, we're running okay on time, that's good. For once, we're running okay. All right, so come down to a seated position, everyone. You're going to take your lovely tea towel, okay? So, flex those feet. If you want to sit on your block to give yourself a little bit of extra lift, then you can do that. It's nice to have a block because if you sit right on the edge here, you have a little bit of movement, you know? So it allows you to rock backwards and forwards a little bit into the spine, but it also allows you to grow a little bit more as well through the spine, because you don't feel like, because sometimes it's hard for people when they're sitting on the ground because they don't have the strength in their abdominals and their back to keep themselves upright. So quite often if they're sitting on the ground, it's sort of like a real struggle for them to sit, and they can't quite sit upright, so they have this curve in the spine. However, if you're sitting on a block, it just gives you that little bit of extra movement in the spine, so you're allowed to push your chest forward a little bit more, so it just allows you to have a bit more of a straight spine. So that's why I just say sit on a block if you want to. Okay, take a lovely inhale with the hands all the way up to the ceiling, grabbing your tea towel. As you exhale, you're going to fold all the way down, you're going to link it around the soles of the feet, okay? Now take a nice firm grip. So now you've got your towel there behind your feet. You want to inhale, you want to lift the chest forward, shine the chest forward and try to push the shoulders back, lengthening through the spine. And as you exhale, you want to bend the arms a little bit and pull yourself towards your feet as much as you can, but don't lose that lengthening in the spine, okay? Keep it nice and long and straight. You don't want to be rounding like this, you want to be nice and up straight. Now guys, you can see, this isn't easy for me either, okay? So don't be like disheartened by any position that you're in today. Like wherever you're doing is great, and you're always moving towards, you know, a bit more of a flexible spine, a little bit more of flexible hamstrings. Everything is a movement, and it's all a journey. So don't beat yourself up about, you know, not having your nose on your knees. I mean, I'm miles away, so don't worry about it, okay? So really inhale, and you stretch through the spine, lengthening through the top of the head, feeling like there's a piece of string pulling you up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, you're going to pull yourself through your elbows. Allow the elbows to bend out towards the side, and you're going to try and pull yourself a little bit closer towards your knees. Now keep those feet flexed as well, so you've got a nice little energy going through the back of the legs. So inhale, you lift. Exhale, you pull. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pull. And gently release. Now remove your block, and here as a counter posture, we're going to round the spine. So bring the feet together, the soles of the feet together. Grab the ankles or the shins, whatever's good for you. Now don't bring them too close in towards yourself. Make sure there's a nice wide diamond shape. And now as you inhale, you're going to lift. And then as you exhale, round the spine and pull yourself a little bit closer down towards your feet, okay? So this is a nice stretch. Now if you want to interlace the fingers and place it onto the back of the head, this is a really nice stretch for the back of the neck. And coming all the way back up. Do that one more time. Inhale, lift, shine the chest forward. Exhale, round the spine. Now from here, round yourself up nice and gently and slowly. We're going to lie back onto our mats. We're going to do our bridge posture. So extend the feet forward a little bit. Just move yourself forward onto your mat, keeping those knees bent. Now relax your spine back down onto the ground. And we're going to do our bridge posture. So you can either do 2 sets of this, or you can do 1 set of bridge and 1 set of wheel. Now I'm going to show you, okay? So I want you to make sure you've got a nice grip between the legs. So grab your block, place it in between your thighs, hold it there. Now, as you want to make sure that you're just tickling the backs of your heels with your feet, with your fingers, okay? So that's the good distance between your feet and your hands. So as you inhale, you want to lift the glutes towards the ceiling. Now interlace your fingers, stretch through the elbows and push those hands deep into the ground. That's going to help you push your chest upwards. Now really squeeze the glutes here, squeeze that block between your legs and hold it there. This is your bridge posture. Now try not to choke yourself and make sure there's a little bit of space. So if that means looking back slightly with your head, just making sure that you can still breathe. We don't want you dying on us. So hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly release, coming back down to the mat. Now, if you want to do a second set of bridge, then you completely stay here. You keep your block in between your legs, and you're going to do that again. So you take an inhale and you lift all the way up to bridge. Alternatively, if you want to do wheel, but only if wheel is in your practice and you've done it before, no people with neck injuries or head injuries, please don't do this. But if you're fit and healthy and you've done it before, then go for it. So place your hands either side of your face, so your palms are on the floor. Now, when you push yourself up with the inhale, you want to lock out the arms. Really lock them out, okay? So there's no bend here in my elbows. You don't want to be here because that puts too much strain onto the wrists and too much strain into the biceps and all your muscles in your arm, and you might collapse and fall on your head. So you don't want that. You want to be nice and straight. So really lock out those elbows, push into the hips, and then push into the feet as well. So you're in this lovely wheelie posture. Now stay there as long as you want to. Obviously it's not ideal if you just had a big breakfast. Don't be doing this because you'll probably throw up. But if you're nice and light, then go ahead. I'm going to come down. Come down with just as much care as you did going up, please, as well. Be careful when you come down. Don't just like crash to the floor. Okay, and when you're here, just place the feet back onto the ground and just allow the hands to flop open. If you want to place the feet together and allow the knees to just open up, then you can do that. And just breathe here for a moment. Okay, now we're going to go into our final posture, which is shoulder stand. And from shoulder stand, we're going to lead into Halasana and Karnapidasana, okay? So I'll just walk you through, but my regulars, if you know what you're doing, go ahead, get started. You want to hold this position between 10 to 15 breaths. If you're a newbie, please watch. I have 3 options. So option number 1, place the hands flat onto the floor beside you. On the inhale, you're going to lift the heels towards the ceiling, flexing those feet. And if you want to just hold the legs behind, just to support yourself, then you can. That is option number 1. Okay, people with neck injuries or shoulder injuries, please stay here. You don't need to progress any further than this. I don't want you hurting yourself. So those of you who don't have any injuries, we're going to go to option 2. So placing the hands back on the floor, bend the knees slightly and give yourself a bit of a push. And when you get to here, so you're using the strength in your elbows and your hands to get you to here. You want to lift up your hands, placing the palms of the hands onto the lower back. Okay, now still make sure that there's a nice bit of space here between your chin, between your your chest and your chin. You're not going to be like this. You're not going to be like this. You have to have a nice bit